Hey guys, Taylor here, and today I'm back with another Division 2 video. Now in this one, we're going to be talking about something I'm really excited for, and that is the Division 2's raid.
Title Update 3, Operation Dark Hours, sets the ground for the epic fight over the control of the city. Fight side by side with your friends in the first ever 8-player raid.
Now, believe it or not, before I was taken on board and given the opportunity to be a full-time content creator for the Arekkz gaming team, I always watched the rest of the team go through the raids on Destiny 2. I would watch the whole live stream whenever they did stream them. I used to love seeing them figure out and crack different codes and whatnot. So the fact that the Division 2 is going to have a raid gets me super excited. But anyway, before we do jump into the video, I do just want to remind you that we are still running a giveaway this month, and that's for your chance to win a limited edition Super Smash Bros. Nintendo Switch console. To enter that, make sure you follow the link down in the description. But anyway, let's jump straight into it. Now, in the latest state of the game, they announced that the raid had been delayed, and that's mainly due to a whole lot of balancing and a few issues they've had just since launch. So they're trying to iron out a few of the kinks, a bit of a balancing pass on some of the talents and perks. Personally, I think this is a good move. They want to get the base game as perfect as possible before they introduce the raid, so it can't be cheesed through or anything breaks whilst people are, probably trying to race for that world's first completion. So yeah, the raid was due to arrive actually this week, April the 25th, but it's now been pushed back to May. We don't have an exact date, but it is sometime during May next month. Now, the actual name for the raid is Operation Dark Hours, and this looks like it's going to take place in the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. We now have a helicopter at the base of operations, which pretty much shows us how we're going to get there. As well as that, it's also got a new little information screen. This is where you'll come, gather your team of 7 other agents, and embark on your journey to take on the raid. Now, I'm going to bet any money that this helicopter doesn't actually make it. You'll get shot down or something crazy on the way to the raid. Now, the helicopters really aren't that reliable in the Division. We've seen this in Division 1. That's when Fei Lao gets given the perfect excuse not to help you in your fight to take back New York. When Survival came about, the cutscene showed that the helicopter crashed, and then that's how the Survival game mode started. And literally a couple of weeks ago when Tidal Basin dropped, now quickly, if you haven't taken part in the Tidal Basin Stronghold, quickly switch off for 30 seconds, but another helicopter crashes into the back of the hovercraft. I mean, I'm not going to trust any helicopters in this game franchise ever again, because there's clearly something wrong with them, and they need to get hold of the manufacturer. But if we do make it to Washington Airport in one piece, then maybe I'll make an apology video. But yeah, that's where it's going to take place, Washington National Airport, and that's how we're going to get there. Like I've already mentioned, it's going to be 8 players involved. Not 100% sure if you have to find 8 players or 8 friends to join you, or if there's going to be matchmaking involved. I guess we're going to have to wait and find out some more information before we do know for sure. But yeah, as well as that, it looks like we're going to be fighting Black Tusks at the airport. And as well as that, it's going to be inside the airport and, by the looks of things, outside on the runways and the surrounding areas. Now, that is pretty much everything official that we know about the raid. Where it's going to take place, the rough release date, how we're going to get there, and how many people is it going to involve. But there's a few things that have been popping up on the internet the past couple of weeks, a few leaked and data mined bits of information that I am just going to brush over now. Now, do remember to take this all with a pinch of salt. There's been various conflicting articles saying that a lot of this is true and a lot of this isn't true. So like I said, take it with a pinch of salt, but we are going to talk about it anyway. And yeah, let's jump straight into it, I guess. So there's a whole list of leaked achievements or trophies or commendations within game. Now, you receive one of them for doing the following: stop the convoy from leaving the runway. Now, a few weeks back, me, Vest, and Arekkz actually did a Division 2 podcast, and we talked a little bit about the raid and some things we would like to see. So this got me a little bit hyped. A plane boss. This is what I said in the podcast anyway, and now that I've seen something relating to stopping a convoy from leaving the runway, I mean, this could mean a number of things. It could just be like 5 or 6 jeeps driving off into the distance and you've got to stop them. But if it's a big AC-130 type plane that we've got to shoot with our specialized ammo and, I don't know, mortar kits and things like that, that would be so sick. So yeah, a plane boss, possibly, but who knows. Another one was referring to protecting your teammates. Now, the description of this objective was protect the named agent on your team. Now, I'm not going to lie, these mechanics can be very infuriating, especially if the agent does take a lot of damage and dies very quickly. You can often get stuck on these and having to replay them 20, 30 times until you have managed to protect that agent or that thing for the amount of time that's needed. But this also sort of gives us a heads up on the type of builds we're going to need. This could mean that one of you on your team is going to have to be a medic to help heal or protect this agent. Now, luckily enough for me, I've had perfect training with this, because trying to play the Division 2 from start to finish with Arekkz, I'm going to have all the training I need, because honestly, I carried him through this main story. I'm just hoping he doesn't see this video though. So yeah, I definitely think we're going to need a medic or two during this raid, especially during this objective or encounter. There's also an objective that involves you splitting up and flanking the target. Now, when I knew about 8-player raids, I instantly thought at some point we would be split up into 2 teams of 4. I mean, it just makes sense, and 99% of the content in the division does limit you to groups of 4, so I kind of had a feeling they would introduce this into the raid, and if any of this information is correct, I can happily say I was also right. But yeah, it definitely makes sense to include something like that within the raid. 8 players split into 2 teams, doing 2 similar objectives and then meeting back up in the middle. Definitely sounds like something that would fit well in with this raid. Now, the last objective or achievement I want to speak about is surviving the assault on the bridge and doing this in a certain amount of time. This is where I think all of our communication is really going to come into play. If we've got to battle constant waves of super high level enemies and tough enemies, maybe even multiple bosses like we've had in past activities, we're going to need to be on the ball here. We're going to need our medics making sure they're always reviving and healing us. We're going to need our tanks making sure they're at the front of the pack, as well as having our DPS players making sure they're dealing all of the damage they can, as well as trying to stay alive. But also, I would like to know where this bridge takes us. Is there another part of the raid that we'll be going to that's outside of the airport? It could lead to so many things. But that's just a small snippet of some of the leaked or data mined information. Again, do take it with a pinch of salt. I didn't want to speak about all of it because a lot of it does contain spoilers. And as well as that, like I said, there was a lot of conflicting articles saying that a lot of this isn't true, but a lot of it is. So yeah, I didn't want to go too much into all of it and giving out the wrong information. But guys, let me know what you're looking forward to in the raid. Maybe it's a location, maybe it's a boss that you're hoping to fight, but also let me know which build you'll be taking in. I think I'm going to be taking in a mixture of a tank / DPS assault rifle build that I've been working on pretty much since I got to World Tier 5. It includes a few bits of True Patriot, as well as a fair bit of armor to help get through some of the tougher areas. But anyway guys, that's going to be it from me today. If you did enjoy this video, let us know by either leaving a comment or by clicking that like button. But as always, thank you so much for watching.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the end game store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here. But once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.